Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be covering a story that I find to be very, very interesting. Right off the top, I have a huge concern, and I'm pretty sure many of you do as well. And that concern is, who tore out the panic button for Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley's office? Who tore it out of there? And it was torn out of there before the riot. Whoever did this, they already knew. It was already in their minds that those who stormed the Capitol were going to go after specific targets. Gee, I wonder why would they go after Ayanna Pressley? What would make them go after her? Anybody know? Anyone care to take a guess? Whoever tore out her panic button, they also knew that the Capitol was going to be stormed. That's one thing. You knew the Capitol was going to be stormed. You knew who was going to be storming it. You knew what they were upset about. You know what their grievances are, and you know how they feel about certain groups of people. And so to tear her panic button out before the riots, y'all, that means people had some forethought and foreknowledge of what was going to take place. And they wanted to make sure that Representative Ayanna Pressley couldn't hit the panic button, that no one would come to her rescue if by some chance her office were stormed. It says during last week's siege of the Capitol, where Republican terrorists violently stormed the building in an attempted coup, many members of Congress isolated in safety by hunkering down in a safe location together. Representative Ayanna Pressley and her chief of staff, Sarah Grow, say they reached for the panic buttons in Pressley's office at the start of the riot, but those buttons had been inexplicably torn out. As protesters neared the building, members of Congress began to realize they may need to take shelter to protect themselves for a possible siege. Because of multiple death threats during the 2 years being in office, Pressley has become an expert at running through safety drills and threat scenarios with her staff. And so, again, who the heck ripped out her panic button? It says that panic buttons were installed in her office as an added security measure, as Pressley and other members of the squad, consisting of Representatives Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, and Rashida Tlaib, they're on the receiving end of direct threats to their safety on a regular basis. So this is why they had the panic buttons installed. But some wise guy, and I don't mean that in a good way, decided that we're going to remove your panic buttons. There's going to be a siege. So people knew about it. So that means this was an inside job. This was an inside job. Someone on the inside knew that the Capitol was going to be stormed. They also knew that some of those who have been making threats against the women that I just named, they probably would look for them. And so they said, look, we're going to take out your panic button so no one will be coming to save you. So again, this stuff reaches to the highest levels. It is not just people on the streets that are storming the Capitol, but it's people inside at the top who want to keep racial tensions brewing. And I find it amazing that people come to my channel from time to time and say that people like me keep racial hatred stirred up. And I'm saying to myself, you are one pathetic person to put it on me for talking about it, but not put it on those who put the target on the backs of these women of color. You don't see them as the problem, the racial problem. You see those who talk about these things as the problem. That is more proof of what I constantly say on this channel, that the world is filled with reprobates, people who cannot connect to the truth, people who are not honest, very dishonest people. Very dishonest. So I can take many guesses as to why her panic button was removed. Who did it? I don't know, but I can assure you, the face of the person who did it doesn't look like her. Okay? I can definitely say that. And so again, I talked about on another video of the other day that this is all a big script. People are playing their parts. They're acting out to the T. But very real things are happening, though. People are being hurt in all of this. But all of this is mapped out, carefully plotted and planned, and everyone has a part to play in it. And we are all sitting back watching as one page flips, as we go from one chapter to the next. This stuff is happening right before our eyes. Biblical prophecy is unfolding. Yes. As I'm sitting here looking at something on my screen, I kind of looked over to the right and I saw an article that says Native American tribes are going to be receiving the COVID-19 vaccine, and I couldn't help but think about the blankets. But anyway, I'm not going to get off into that. I just wanted to chime in on this story. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section. What are your thoughts on this? Of course, keep it clean because they are censoring. They are removing comments. Okay, keep that in mind. But give me your thoughts in the comment section. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, share, and like this video. And with that, I'm out. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.